Shio Gang. I'm going to walk you through our notes on facts and opinions. So, we've gone over fact and opinion a bit in class already, and the main tip that I've had for that is that learning what does differentiate fact and opinion. The key to that, the first step to that, is recognizing that fact does not mean true. Okay, so a lot of times in modern culture and our culture, we tend to just say like, oh, if something is true, it is a fact. If it is a fact, it is true. So drop that from your brain. That's not what fact and opinion means. Now, in a perfect world, all of our facts are true, but definition-wise, that is not what fact and opinion means. All right, so here are our notes. Now, if you go to our Google Classroom, and you go to classwork, and second quarter, week 1, you will see one of them is called Notes, Fact, and Opinion. So that is the assignment for today. You open that, and one of the ones will be a student handout, fact and opinion student handout. The other one is fact and opinion presentation. So you are going to want to have those both open at the same time, or just watch this video at the same time you have your student handout open. But the student handout is what is due today, just like the other sets of notes that we have done. Cool. Now that we have that taken care of, here, yours will say student notes. Okay. Now, the main goal, the main purpose of this particular presentation and fact and opinion is that, let's look at here. Facts state reality and opinions interpret reality. Facts state reality, opinions interpret reality. I'm going to go ahead and plug that into my blanks. If you double click on the blank, then the whole thing goes away. So facts state reality, or just click on it and type it in there. It really doesn't matter, whatever makes you happiest. Interprets reality, or opinions interpret reality. And then I'm going to go ahead and change that text. Well, I was going to, but I have that part of my screen covered. So, So I'm going to double click on it so that it's not all white, just to make it easier for you guys to see. So now what does that mean? So basically, if we look at the definition of interpret on here, so to interpret means to give meaning to something, all right? Like if you ever had a dream and you ever want to figure out like, oh God, what does that mean? Well, that's something that we do in everyday life too. So for instance, my 2 cats over there, I have 2 cats. They're over there in the corner. They are pouncing on each other and tackling each other, okay? So that is me stating reality. Bring in 100 people into my living room, we would all see the exact same thing. My 2 cats are tackling and pouncing on each other. That is a fact. It is observable. Now, if I want to interpret my reality, I could say either my cats are fighting or my cats are playing. Okay? Now, I do not have a key into the hearts and minds of my cats, so whichever one I pick, it's an interpretation, and it's based on what I know about cats, and I have to make that inference to be like, what does it mean that my cats are tackling each other? Okay? So that would then become an opinion. And if you have 100 people in my teeny tiny living room all looking at that, some of them would say they are fighting, some of them would say they are playing, because it's just how we interpret our reality. So facts state reality, opinions interpret reality. And have one of my favorite little quotes down here. It says Abraham Lincoln, quote, "Don't believe everything you read on the internet just because there's a picture with a quote next to it." Okay? Now I've tried to think about when Abraham Lincoln said that. Clearly he didn't say that. Abraham Lincoln was not alive during the time of the internet. I mean, for part of my life, I wasn't alive in the time of the internet as we know it today. So As adults, a lot of adults can misinterpret facts, because you just see something like a quote and a picture on the internet. But that's his own thing. That's his own little thing. So that's page 1. You're going to fill in state and interpret. I know that's a lot of talking for 2 words, but the goal is to get you to understand the concepts and be able to use it in more complex work and not just breeze through the blanks. Okay, next, page 2. Page 2 goes into deeper discussion about how facts state reality. So on yours, you see our main statement here is facts can be blank, 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 and proven true or false. And that should probably say or, but we'll stick with and. So go to our notes page, or just listening to this, and it says in that same spot, facts can be observed. So that is what you can clearly see, like I said with the cats. Facts can be measured, okay? So that could be measured in inches, measured in tablespoons, measured in miles, measured in cups and volume. So they can be measured. So observed is what you can clearly see. Measured, any way that you can measure something. So even terms like bigger, smaller, heavier, lighter, they could seem like opinion words because they're adjectives, but those are adjectives that can be measured. If I say one of my cats is bigger than the other, we can actually measure that to see if it's true or false. Okay, so facts can be observed, measured, verified, and proven true. And so verified means something similar to proven. These are all going to be in our vocabulary terms that we're going to start seeing on bingo and stuff too. So make sure you get them. So like for instance, verified has to deal with our second line here, which is facts are research, math, and science based. So I can verify information using our best known, most agreed upon science, or I can verify information, facts using mathematics, equations, or using research and historical documents. So if I say a fact about the Civil War, I can't observe the Civil War because that was a long time ago. I can't measure the Civil War because it's an event. There's nothing I can measure about it, but I can verify facts about the Civil War by using our common research, historical documents, from the source, from others who observed it and were there, okay? And so we can never know 100% what happened there, but we can use our best, most agreed upon knowledge with research. So that's the next line. Facts are research, math, and science-based, all in there. Next, facts are objective. And so objective just means specifically what happened. My statement about my 2 cats was objective. I didn't give judgment, I didn't give opinion, I didn't give it meaning. I just stated my 2 cats are pouncing and tackling each other in the corner. So that is an objective statement. It is precisely and specifically what is happening based on observation. Okay? So that is what it means to be objective. So in here, facts are objective, which means you're going to fill those in. Specifically, what happened with no, click on that, judgment. No judgment words. Okay, I'm going to undo that for the next group. Now, examples of fact words. So when you are reading a sentence, this will help you to decipher whether you are reading a fact or an opinion. So numbers, dates. So if I say in 1842, blah, 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 that is verifiable. We can check our research and historical documents. So that makes it a fact statement. Might not be true, but we can verify whether it is true or false. On our third word, we have a blank. Ingredients. Okay, if I read the ingredients of a milkshake, that's verifiable. So it is factual what that milkshake is made out of. And actually by law in the United States, for the most part. Natural flavorings are made out of some pretty weird things, so they don't state those, but they'll say natural flavorings. And you can research that on your own if you want to know some really weird stuff that's in your food. So ingredients, experts, like mathematicians, biologists, scientists, experts in their field. Next you have research, which you have filled in. Second line is blank. You are going to put in historical events. After that is maps. So like cities, towns, states, rivers, continents, all those are facts. We can verify it using maps. Let's see, the next one is a blank. It is measurements. And last is surveys. So if scientists, or like the census that you might have heard the adults in your home doing, that is where the government takes one giant survey to figure out the population of the United States. What race everybody is, ethnicity, gender, where do you live, income level, and that helps the government like structure itself based on the population. So that's like the biggest survey we have probably. Okay, and some key terms you will see, according to research, or doctor or scientist, Dr. blah 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 says. So those are good keywords. So the last box on this page is I want you to, in this box on your notes, just type in 3 different types of measurement. And so I said some out loud a couple minutes ago, but for instance, like cups, like I need 2 cups of milk from my recipe, that's a measurement. So think of 2 to 3 other types of measurements and fill those in, and you can pause it if you need to. Pro tip up here in the corner, sometimes people make up facts, sadly. But by using math, history, and science, we can prove whether those facts are true or false. But that's a lesson for another day. But it's just part of getting out of your head that fact does not mean true. It means it is observable, measurable, or verifiable in some way. So definitely, since like everybody nowadays has access to the internet, like for $4 a month, or for $4 a year, $8 a year, I could buy a website URL that's like completelytrueinformation.com, and I can pay to have that URL and post whatever I want on it. I'm not legally obligated to actually post true things on there. So some people do make up facts, and so that's why we have things like math, science, and research, so that we can go in there and verify whether the facts are true or false. So next page. Okay, so I'm going to stop here since we're going into opinions, and then we will continue opinions on the next video. So I'll see you in a second. Great job. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay.